Hi, my name is Sandra Dorico, and today we're going to talk about terror management theory. So terror management theory, the agenda is to define terror management theory, discuss who developed the theory, when the theory was developed, and why the theory was developed. We're going to talk about past concepts of dealing with death, present concepts, and future concepts of dealing with death. Our goals are to understand terror management theory, describe coping mechanisms related to mortality, the role of terror management past and present, and the benefits of continuing to incorporate terror management theory. So first, let's talk about the definition of terror management theory. What is it? Terror management theory is simply the conflict that is derived from the desire to live, but realizing that death is inevitable. Three psychologists, Greenberg, Solomon, and Pyszczynski, are attributed to developing the theory in 1986. The theory originated from the book The Denial of Death by Ernest Becker. The book was written in 1973. Becker was a World War II veteran. He died of cancer. So he had definitely had a lot of experience in death and the feelings that are attributed to death. Worldviews differ based on the history and culture. And when someone threatens our worldview, we get defensive. We've all been there. If someone thinks or believes a different way than we believe, we get a little defensive about what we believe because we think what we believe is the right way. We need terror management theory because it explains prejudice and self-defense mechanisms related to self-esteem. So if we can explain this prejudice and our defense mechanisms, then we can do something about it to create unity. Past concepts of mortality, repression, and believing in immortality. And believing in immortality, things like religion, legacy, and heroism come into play. Denial is a way that we cope with death, and Becker acknowledged that in his book. So repression definitely plays a huge part in the way we deal with death. Also, coping with death, belief in the afterlife. A lot of religions believe in some sort of afterlife, whether it be heaven or something else. And immortality plays a big part in that. If we go to heaven, we'll live forever. Legacy, leaving a legacy is another way to believe in immortality. We believe if we leave something for the next generation, they'll remember us forever. War heroes definitely think that they are immortal. If someone fears death, why would they volunteer to go and fight in a war? Well, it's because they believe they're contributing to something greater than themselves or this life, and they will be remembered forever, in essence, be immortal, for giving their life for the greater good. Present concepts of mortality, things being used today to deal with mortality issues are healthy lifestyles, increasing performance, and issues related to racial unity. Terror management theory is a very broad theory. It is sometimes used with other theories. And there are subcategories of the theory also. Greenberg developed a subcategory called Terror Management Health Model. And this health model simply explains how we try to incorporate immortality in our everyday lives to deal with death. We've all seen the commercials, if you don't wear sunscreen, you're going to die of skin cancer. So that's like a reminder to take care of yourself so you'll live longer. And of course, we all exercise and eat healthy to have a longer life. Increasing performance is another way that terror management is used. Blue did a study with basketball players, and he gave them subtle reminders about death before the game, and their performance increased significantly. So subtle reminders about death can increase performance, so you can see how this can be used in other theories. We've all heard the coaches say, if you win this today, you'll be remembered forever. It's like guaranteed immortality if they win a game. Police officers have a daily reminder of mortality. They wear a gun, safety vest, in-line duty deaths. So because they are daily reminded, they have so many reminders of death, their performance is increased to the point that they overperform. And sometimes that shows as police brutality, excessive force. So by recognizing this, terror management theory can be used to solve the problems of police brutality and shootings and things like that. If they are taught a different way, how to deal with their fears of death, then their defensive mechanism would not be so heightened. And again, we've all seen the hands up, don't shoot. You know, it affects the public. Police shootings increase public anxiety. And if terror management theory could be used for something like this, it could create a better unity. And so people feel safer. Racial unity can be created through understanding of self-defense mechanisms. Most of the conflicts that we have, the race-related conflicts, are simply self-defense mechanism. Is because someone doesn't believe the way we believe, we think it's a personal attack on us, and it's really not. It's just people believe different things. And if we could understand that or teach that early in life, it would really resolve some of the other issues that we have. And racial unity extends worldwide. The 9/11 attacks, the terror attacks on the towers definitely increased our defense mechanisms. We blame everybody, that we think is from that country. We think everyone's a terrorist, and that's not necessarily so. But that just is an example of how our fears, when someone insults our cultural beliefs or what we think or feel, how our defense mechanisms are heightened, and how that creates ethical issues and racial issues and things like that. So terror management theory could not only be used for our country, but it could be used to create a unity with other countries and eventually eliminate wars. Future uses of terror management theory, I believe, will be in education and healthcare. Teaching terror management in school can increase performance and decrease violence and create unity. So elementary school children are very young, too young to understand death, but high school students certainly can understand the concept of death. And I think teaching it in high school could decrease the amount of problems in the world by creating unity. If you understand why someone's reacting the way they are, then you don't take it personally, and definitely create a sense of unity for that. And also, high school children seem to think they're immortal, so I think teaching terror management theory could reduce some of the deaths related in younger people by doing risky things. Future of mortality reminders. Some patients have time to mentally prepare for death. They have time to go through all the steps, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. They have time to go through those feelings and deal with death. And as healthcare professionals, it's part of our duty to help them deal with those feelings. But the patients that are suddenly faced with death, we don't know how to deal with those patients. We sometimes tell them they're not going to die, but we truly know that they are going to die. And I think it's only fair to the patient to tell them they're going to die so they can have peace and say whatever they want to say before they go. Some people want to pray before they go. Some people want to confess their sins before they go. Some people may want you to tell their family something for them before they go. So they deserve to know the truth, and they deserve to pass in peace. And if there's anything they need to say, they should be able to say it. In conclusion, the studies associated with terror management theory are very progressive and should be continued on a larger scale. If there are any questions, feel free to email me. I have my email address posted here.